The Other Shore is a project that I had done from 2014 till 2016. I had been living in Hong Kong since 2000, and I guess over the years it has been changing, and there has been a lot more, I guess, Chinese influence going to Hong Kong. So then I wanted to think about how it's like, I think, for a lot of the people who are coming to Hong Kong. And that's how it began, I think, thinking about the kind of maybe tension that you have in the city, that was in the city. So that's how the project began. A lot of my projects begin with conversations with people. I like talking to people, and I think that through the process, often one can start a project thinking that this is what I want to do, but through the conversations, the project changes. And so with a lot of the people that I met, so this project I mainly met with a lot of people through friends, so I was introduced through friends and acquaintances to a kind of many new migrants who were coming into Hong Kong, but also a lot of migrants who were younger, who were in their 20s and 30s. And I wanted to think about and also ask them how it was like to be in Hong Kong, to be in that situation, but also to ask about how their families were, how their upbringing were, how education was, and how they felt that their lives were changing. And then in that way also think about how my life was changing in that place. So in that way, it's working with photography and interviews in terms of thinking about something that is based on the documentary, but in the end, for me, it is not. And it's a conscious effort because I guess I question a lot what a document is and what a document can do. And so that's something that I try to think about and work with as I work through the project. I think one of the conversations that I had, or maybe a small part of the conversation that I had with this man, which really touched me, was when he was talking about the umbrella movement, and when he was talking about how it was important to be present during the umbrella movement. And he said that, even though he as a Chinese person, he might not be able to do anything, or even if as a Chinese person it might actually be awkward to be present during the protest, that it was important for him to be present. And I felt that that was really, really powerful in thinking about how a person thinks about what the right thing to do for himself is, and what he thinks can make the place a better place. And he was also talking about how even though he felt that, I think for a lot of Hong Kong people, even if in the end you might think that it was futile, that people still showed up, and he thought that that was so important. I think that when one experiences an exhibition and when one experiences images, let's say, how your body, how you look, and whether you're looking up or down, or how you view something, it affects you, whether it's conscious or unconscious. It affects how you see the other person that's in the image. And for me, when I talk to people who are in my projects and with the participants in the project, and one of the really important things for me is that I am not giving them voice, I am not empowering them, but that we are speaking as equals, that they are sharing a part of their lives with me, and I am sharing my life with them, in the sense, because you're having a conversation. It's not like you're having this full experience together. And so in that way, that when audiences walk through the space, the way that the images are placed helps determine, for me at least, I think, how somebody interacts, or how someone can imagine the person in the image. Whether you are looking up at a person, that implies something. Whether you're looking down at a person, whether you're looking straight at a person, it all implies how you interact or how you imagine the other person. So that is why the images are at different heights. I think in terms of diversity, I would perhaps not call it diversity per se, but maybe I would call it difference in the sense that, because so many people are moving around, that one often finds oneself living with or close to or adjacent to or next to somebody who is different from yourself. And I think that acceptance of difference is very important, that acceptance that you might not be able to understand the other person fully, and that is okay. And I think that is really important in thinking about in how we can be with another person and how we can be in a society together.